Hello and welcome to episode 76 of the Total Evercade podcast. I am your host, Blunners, and I've got the man, the myth, the legend, Sir Top and Hat. How are you?
Good evening. Yeah, it's great to be here. Yeah, episode 76. Wow.
It's crazy. I've got some plans for 100. And the computer man, Mr. Andy C. How are you, Andy?
I'm good. It's great to be here again. It's great to be the super sub and keeping things international.
Yeah, definitely. So we have, as usual, at the minute, quite a lot of trouser accidents going on TVG headquarters. But nevertheless, we will sort that out. Right, I have done my usual. I've done a gift of a membership. And who has it gone to? I can't remember who it's gone to now. Let me have a look. I'm just trying to find it on the screen. But anyway, I'll find it in a sec if so I can't find it. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy that membership. We do have membership only stuff. So tonight we are streaming on Twitch and also on X. So we are live streaming on other platforms as we speak. As you can see, we have two streams going. We have a vertical one that is for my YouTube homework that they keep setting me. So if you want to get over into the horizontal one, that's where the main chat will be. That portrait one is literally just to cover me for my homework. I've got to prove I'm doing vertical lives. But let's have a look in the chat. Who have we got? We have got Mr. Dave Newland Music. How are you? We have Case Blue. Timothy Earnshaw. Good evening. Oh, thank you, Mr. Rob Taylor, as always. Chris Dunham, 297. Mr. Nicholas Skippins. We've got Corey. Who else we got on here? A new member as well. Nam Strong. We've got Pete. How we doing, Pete? Gamertron. We've got David Faulkner. We've got Mossy78. We've got Adams75. We've got loads of people in at the minute. Gene Jokes in as well. Who else we got? Immortal. So Mickey Man. So yeah, we've got so many people in. Right, we've got quite a few topics to get through. I'll just quickly run through so you guys know what's coming up. We have got What Are You Playing? We also have a timeline. Does Carts Go and Legacy hurt the community? Best cartridges to start your Evercade collection, and get them questions in for Dear Derek. Also, we have a members only section which goes live after our show. What would you change if you were running Blaze? But that is only for you members. But let's get to our first topic. What are you playing? So Derek, what are you playing at the minute?
Well, over the last week, I've been going back to Indie Heroes Collection 1. Originally, I'd set out that I was going to play a lot of Foxyland, as I'm just a really big fan of it. But actually, I've ended up getting rehooked back on Twin Dragons. I became a little bit obsessed. I got back on it and discovered a little hidden area that I'd never actually seen before. And that made me think that perhaps in the other worlds, I might have missed something there. So I've ended up spending quite a few hours just checking every single wall, floor, going in every ocean, deep down, just making sure, I've literally found absolutely everything. So yeah, Twin Dragons this week on Indie Heroes Collection 1 has been where it is at. You can still get this from average retailers, like Amazon and things like that. So do look out, and you can pick it up for about £20 still. It's 100% worth the money. So, don't go and grab it now, because it is one of those legacy ones, and I don't want anyone to miss out on it or end up paying crazy prices later on.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite carts. I've said many times it was one of the reasons I actually got into the Evercade. But yeah, Andy, what have you been playing?
Do you know what I've been trying to play is Roguecraft EX, and I've unsuccessfully kind of tried to play it because life kind of takes over sometimes. I have a daughter doing state exams this year, and she needs me to help her study and all the rest of it. And I've been doing a lot of travel and broadcasting, whatever. So I kind of found myself stuck that I had like 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there, maybe sitting in the car. So I kind of said, you know what I'll do? I'll bring in the Heroes 4, and I put it in the super pocket, and I booted up block dropping and kind of got a bit addicted to that. So there's two modes in it. There's the puzzle mode and the arcade mode, or whatever they're called, and they're quite different. And it's one of these games that looks like a Tetris clone on the face of it, But once you get into it, it has its own mechanics and it's really well made. And it's made by Rocket Ship Park, the same developer that did the Game Boy Color version of Roadcraft, and he's really good at game design. Shane McCafferty is his name. So
Yeah,
I'd really recommend anyone who has Indie Hero 4 and maybe overlooked this Game Boy Color small game as being incidental to really get stuck into it. And the only unfortunate thing about it is there's 20 levels, and the 20 levels isn't enough. It would be great if there was like 100 levels, or if they could just expand it slightly and increase the challenge, because you could probably complete it in an hour or so.
oh wow. Yeah, I need to. I've already played that one. Obviously, got into Heroes 4, but I haven't really got into that game at all for some reason. I don't know why. How about you, Derek? Have you played that one?
Yes, yeah, and I agree. Yeah, it could do with more levels. If it had a bit more fluffing out, I think the community would be talking about it a lot more. As it happens, yeah, I agree. It's one that's been overlooked, I think. So, yeah, if you are in the comments and you haven't checked it out in Indie Heroes 4, please go and do so.
Yeah. So, just like you said there, Shane, I've been speaking to Shane because last night I went live and I was playing the new Roadcraft, but on the Game Boy GB version. And it's so good. I love it. Yeah, and he was actually inboxing me, so fingers crossed, potential guest. I should be getting him on at some point to come on the channel and speak about everything that he does. But yes, so I've been playing a little bit of Life on Mars, went back in, but Metal Dragon, really enjoyed it. But also, random one I went into was Interplay. I haven't played that in so long.
Ooh.
Yeah, just randomly like having a look through some of my collection and just thinking, what haven't I played in a while? Putting a cart in and thinking, right, okay, I've got a spare hour. Let's have a look, see if I can actually get back into it. Because quite a few times you go on to the next new one and I don't spend enough time going back into it. I think, is it Danielle's just been doing her like 30 for 30 reviewing and it's got me thinking, yeah, I need to go back and actually spend some time on these old carts again, because like I said, there's like no tumbleweed of news going on at the minute. We just know we've got two games and some other bits, and so yeah, I thought, you know what, go in and mainly everyone plays obviously Earthworm Jim, Boogerman, and but I love a bit of battle chess. I love it. I remember my brother having it back in the day, and that's what look, Gene jokes bang on the money there. So yeah, I haven't actually played it in so long, but I remember my brother having it back in the day, and yeah, pulls me and love it.
I remember it as a kid, and it was like this amazing thing that you had animated, battle chess pieces that killed each other. Like,
yeah, that's what I really remember that part. So yeah, really enjoyed it. And it's good to go back and, like you said, it's that time of year. There's not really much out. It's good to go back, have a look at some of your old carts, and give them some joy. Play them. Like, that's what they're there for. They're not there to just sit on the shelf. So yeah, that is what I've mainly been playing.
Earthworm Jim was always a favorite as well, because like as a kid, and you're into video games here in Ireland, you hadn't much to kind of associate with, and Earthworm Jim was probably one of the first video games developed by an Irish guy, and he was kind of like the poster boy, and it was like, here we go, like a guy from a small town in Ireland can get as far as this and have at the time what was a AAA game on multi-platform.
Yeah, I remember it coming out, and I remember the cartoon show, so it was a bit weird. The fact that, like, it'd be interesting to see, while we're on a bit of a tangent here, it'd be interesting to see if the third one comes out. Because back in the day when we had Mr. Tommy Tallarico on, he was telling us about, obviously they were designing it for the Amico at the time, and he was also telling us about things that he wanted to implement in because of his controller and being able to talk into it. So he was saying that there was one thing he wanted to implement, and it was the fact that you could, as you fire, you could then customize what was said, so you could say all kinds of rude stuff, and it would then play it for you every time you shoot. So yeah, so he was trying to find like yeah. So I remember him saying that at the time, but it's interesting that like, will it ever see the light of day? How far in production actually was it? And yeah, so if there is one, hopefully there's one out there that just needs someone to get hold of it and finish it. So yeah, Earthworm Jim 3. What would you guys think if that come out now, like on a cart on its own? Like,
I definitely
Well,
jump at it, but I'd hope they do a good job. You know, that's the problem.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, some of these resurrected franchises appear, and then the game that comes out is a bit of a disaster and doesn't live up to expectations. So I'd hate it to ruin the heritage of the game.
yeah.
What do you
Derek?
think, Derek?
yeah, I mean, something they should look into, of course, is the Earthworm Jim Game Boy Color version.
Yeah.
That was one I would have
Should
loved to have
do,
seen on the Evercade, and it's very expensive to get hold of, I think. So, yeah, that would definitely be somewhere I'd like them to go. If they were to do this, a good way for them to look and see if it's worth the money is watch what Atari's doing with Bubsy at the moment. Yeah,
Yeah,
and see how they get on with their sales. And if it's well, then yeah, jump in on this Earthworm Jim. And to be honest, I think he's got a bigger fan base than Bubsy. And if you aim it right and you market it right, and that's the most important thing. I just feel it's like the Duke Nukem remasters. They're exclusive to the Evercade, but beyond their announcement, what groundwork, what marketing did Blaze do? Nothing.
Wow.
They could have
Yeah.
since launched it on like Steam Deck and got some extra money in and used for licenses. You know, they could have used it as a much bigger platform for the console, but they didn't. So yeah, if they were going to get hold of Earthworm Jim, I would say absolutely scream about it. Make some real noise in the Earthworm Jim communities and get people in, because honestly, it would bring people here.
Because yeah, like Phantom's put here, some of them promised Amico titles to come out on the Evercade. Like I've got Finnegan Fox downloaded it. It's on Steam, and
Good game.
yeah, and it's actually really cool. Like I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting it to be that good, and it's actually quite good. I've done a video on our channel, we can go through and see it. But yeah, it's a lot better than what I thought it was. But also, while we're on a bit of a tangent, I've also been thinking that yes, they're bringing out this physical version of the Game Boy Roadcraft, and I was thinking how could this get a release on the Evercade? Because I think I was playing it last night and it is brilliant, but I'd love for Badger Punch to somehow get this as like a hidden game or something. I just think it would be too much, because I'm not gonna lie, what did I pay for it? I paid it was about $7, but yeah, it's about $7 but you know what it's like in America, they don't add on their tax. So by the time I then paid my tax, it was about 10 quid in the end. So yeah, there's me thinking, yeah, 7, that's nothing. It'd be like a $5, but then yeah, by the time the tax got added on, and then me having to pay for it in dollars, not in pounds, yeah, bumped it up to about a tenner, which is I'm more than happy to pay, by the way. But yeah, it'd be interesting, and it's getting a physical release. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if.
Do you know what would be really interesting to find
over.
out is how many people pay more, because it's one of those prices that has a minimum, but you can pay what you like. So I wonder how many people actually you know
yeah,
what I'll do? I'll pay 25 quid
I'll give
for
you
a
more.
Yeah.
Like I say, maybe do a free update on the Roadcraft cart. But yeah, I just can't. I can't see them giving it away, because Shane has worked his ass off trying to get that running, and he's done such a fantastic job. The thing for me was that the music was still there. Like it was like it's chip tuney, but it's still the same. It's mate, he's done such a great job. So yeah, really happy.
Yeah, I love a bit of chiptune music.
Brilliant. Yeah, so good. Right. I can keep waffling all day, but we do have as everyone already knows, we finally got some news, and we have a timeline. So the Evercade gods have been listening to us, because in our last episode we were asking, why have we not got a timeline? Where is the timeline? I have got it on here, but I've got it as a background, so I might need to quickly upload it and make it as a front one so people can see it. But yeah, Andy, what are you thinking of this timeline getting released?
It's great that we have it. There's not a lot of detail to it. I suppose the key detail in it for me is that for once, everything is evenly spaced. So I think there's 2 for February, 2 for April, 2 for June, 2 for August, 2 for
There we go.
October, and then 2 for December. Now, will they stick to this? Is another question. I mean, will it be 12 carts? Will it be 13? Will they have an extra bonus cart? Who knows? But historically, Blaze don't have a great record in keeping the timelines. And I did a quick bit of research this afternoon, and I was kind of taken aback by the level of delays over the years because you tend to forget what was delayed. So going right back to Indie Heroes 1, Worms Collection 1, Intellivision Collection 1, Bitmap Brothers Collection 1, Morphcap Games Collection 1, Intellivision 2, Indie Heroes 4, Broken Sword Collection, Neo Geo. The list goes on. I mean, it's pretty shocking. Full Void, Home Computer Heroes, Delphine, Sunsoft, and then there was the hardware delays. You know,
About
so
15? What's that?
about
How many is
15
that?
or 20 carts there. Like, I mean, and
Yeah.
some of the delays were
many as
really
you've got
substantial,
cartridges.
you know. Yeah, I mean, so do you take it with a pinch of salt? And can they actually deliver? And I'd love to think that they do. And what's really, really, what stands out in the research that I did was the least amount of delays that they suffered was 2024, which was probably the best year they had from the quality of the cartridges, you know.
That was a great
So
year, wasn't it?
if they can hold it together and get some really, really quality cartridges, you know, it could be a great year. And I'm not really one that would say, oh, we need loads of carts. We don't need 20 a year. Like 12 is fine if they're all good and they're all delivered on time.
And I think that's what the main thing that people are worried about is the ever delays. This is just the carts. So, like you said, there's going to be some SP sprinkled in there, some alpha sprinkled in, maybe an EXP2 announcement. So, yeah. So, Derek, what do you think about this getting announced? Well, shown.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as you say, we were on about it with the last podcast. What they've effectively knocked out here is extremely basic for a company of 6 years. You know, with some serious marketing skills. Obviously, I would expect your timeline to look better than last year, where obviously they highlighted the hardware releases, etc. But obviously, they've realized. I mean, if you look at this very basic timeline, they're basically a year 6 could put together. Bottom line is, why didn't you put this out on January 1st then, if that's the case? It's not as if it's given us any more information, really, than we already have. As I say, we've got 10 cartridges left to come out. Obviously, there's the Neo Geo deal. So if you say 2 of those 10 are going to Neo Geo. Now, Activision, I would say at least 2 of those slots there are going to 2 Activision cartridges. All right, so that's
100%.
taken 4 of your mighty 10. Now, remember, they renewed the Namco deal, did they not? So if we say there's 2 Namco arcades coming, that's taken 6 of your 10, leaving 4 remaining. Now, you're going to have some Giga carts in there. Now, it's the 30th anniversary of Resident Evil. That would be a perfect opportunity to jump in and give a Giga cart to one of those style collections. Not to mention, of course, the Biomenace remaster, which I'm convinced Blaze will be bringing to Evercade, whether we'll see it this year. But again, a Giga cart of that style. Finally, of course, you want something indie in there in your 10, potentially. It's anyone's guess at this moment of what that's going to be. But I mean, people like myself would like some home computer. So if you dominate it as much as I just have, there isn't room for it. You know, I'd love a System 3 collection, or perhaps Psychosis with Lemmings and Shadow of the Beast 1, 2, and 3 would be absolutely massive. You know, I'm sure multiplayer fans in the comments would love something like a Gauntlet collection, so they could actually finally get their 4-player going on the Evercade at Christmas with family round. So, you know, there's so many variables. Plus, of course, a lot of people are looking forward to a rare collection too, especially people like myself who would love a bit of Killer Instinct on there. So, you know, I'm hoping they're going to chop and change it up. We're not going to end up with blocks, you know, like 2 Namco 2 Neo
Yeah,
Geo.
one
I don't
hit,
want that
yeah.
type of thing. I
don't
want
want
it
that.
mixed and matched. So there's something for me each time, whether it's a bit of indie or a bit of home computer or something. So there's something I can get in. But as you say, the biggest thing for Blaze, I mean, they've been telling us for a while, it's all locked in for 2026. That's fantastic. But after 6 years, is there really any need for crowdfunding for your cartridges? Not really, is there? They could have gone on
Shouldn't
and
we?
started the production of at least the first 4 cartridges. So as you ordered, you got them. And then that way, you stop the delays. Yeah, because they're already here. Whereas otherwise, I can see delays happening within this timeline. And again, that does put you off to a degree. If you're a big gamer like myself, you want to order it and get it. I don't want to find out it's now put back another month or two. The same with the hardware. So I'm hoping, Blaze is going to start to switch to that format a little bit, because I think after almost 6 years, it's about time now. They're not a small company anymore. We're talking in multi-millions. And, if they want us to take them seriously as a professional company, then you need to act like one.
I think what they could have done this year as well is kind of catered for. I mean, I saw a lot of posts online during the week, kind of people showing off a full set collection and that they get all the cards. I think it's probably beyond time that they have some sort of a system where those kind of fans have an annual offer that they can
Yeah.
pay a lump sum annually and get all the cards, and they're just delivered when they're released.
100%.
Yeah, that'd be
Rather
great.
than, if you got some sort of a discount, let's say you buy 12 and you pay for 10 or something, and then you're keeping those people on board all the time and giving something back, because let's be honest, the actual production cost of these cards is quite low.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I think incentivize it a little bit, because they're asking people to pre-order these things, and then they may have to wait, and then there can be delays, and your money's taken at the time you pre-order on the likes of Funstock. So let's give something back at this stage. And like Derek said, we're talking about a multi-million-pound company now. They're not small. I mean, they are small, but they're not that small, and they have a fan base internationally now. So definitely a package like that would have been nice, announced along with the timeline.
Yeah, like I do think there's, what we said is really good on there. Like, I think that's a great shout there, Andy. Like, if you did say to like the guys that are full set collectors or the people that are all in, beginning of the year, you pay up, say for 10 carts, we'll give you 12, we'll give you them 2.
Yeah.
But why they don't announce everything, because they then got to stick to it. Do you know what I mean? They've announced their timeline now, but now you can't fuck this. It's got to be on it. It's got to be how it is, because we know that there'll be other stuff coming with it. Like I said earlier, like maybe the odd bit of hardware, but all we want is consistency. I think Pete said it best here. He just said here, oh no, not Gauntlet. He said that we just want quality, not quantity. 12 carts is fantastic.
Yeah.
And 2 every month is great. But I was hoping that we would know what was coming in April by now. Like you said, we already know it's going to be the years of the 2, 3, 4, 5s and that. And it all comes down to me how they're set up. One of my big gripes last year was how the stuff all got delayed and all got banged out in one hit. So people aren't going to spend that time on each cart, like them 2 carts at a time, like they would do. When you're getting 5 in one hit, stuff's not really going to get played like it should do. And the way that they banged out the 2 giga carts early, and Broken Sword wasn't 100%. So surely you could have shuffled one out and then sorted out your issues with Broken Sword before putting out a broken game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That wasn't running properly. And then, like you said, if this is you're a proper company now, you got to pull your pants up and make sure that this is how we do it. This is how it's run. We just want consistency. I really, really hope. I really hope that we get this consistency this year. 2 carts, no delays, 15 cart delays, like plus, not even including like hardware. That is mental.
Well, like,
That
I mean,
is mental.
some of the reasoning given, I have all the reasons for the delays here as well. Like, and it's everything from component shortages to supply shortages to officially pushed to later in the year, to global logistic constraints. I mean,
something gets stolen.
yeah,
One
yeah.
EXP stolen, wasn't it? Apparently, which I
And
never
then there
saw
was,
on the black
there was
market. Oh, I think Andy's frozen. But yeah,
there was
you back, Andy?
the Neo Geo stuff. Yeah, I'm back. The Neo Geo stuff last year was that the cart didn't come up to the quality standards, wasn't it? And they had to
Yeah,
remanufacture.
Yeah.
And
It was
was
okay for
released
America, but not
in
Britain.
America, but not in Europe. And just like, come on, lads, you know, it's a piece of plastic with a chip inside it, and you're
Yeah.
nearing 100 of them at this stage. So surely, you know how to put them together. You know.
I think nail on the head here. Is Blazer got some competition this year? Like they got Specky next, the KS3. They got some stuff like that can really give them a bit of competition. So, like, do you know what I mean? Fingers crossed we get everything set out, get it all on
And
time.
what I like about that, if it's like the A1200, they told us plenty in advance. So obviously, not only was I able to set that money aside, and then I can get one, and I know it's coming in June. But if you don't tell me until lastminute.com, I haven't got a spare 200 quid for an alpha or whatever, So it's nice to know in advance, isn't it? And then you can plan for that. So for Christmas, what did I say? I'll have an A1200, please. And lovely, that's sorted, isn't it? So, but I could have done that with Blaze if they let me know earlier. I think my arcade played its entire hand in January, as it always does, at these trade shows, and showed off all their arcade cabinets and handhelds and things with their Namco games in and all that. And as a result, there's people who are already pre-ordering. But if you don't know, if you're going to keep it all shrouded in mystery, and I'm not going to find out to the last minute. I mean, at the moment on Switch games, I'm bordering between £200 and £300 of pre-orders this year. Now, Blaze could have had a slice of that cash, but at the moment, with all those question marks, am I going to chance it? Am I going to hang on?
I think Derek made a good point that, we're definitely going to get some more Neo Geo. I mean, it was announced as a 2-year deal. So one would imagine there's at least 2 more coming there, if not 3.
Yeah, like you said, that's 10 of your carts. There'll be a rare. There's only 10 carts left. There's going to be a rare. There's going to be Neo Geo,
Activision.
and there's going to be Activision. So, and maybe even more Taito, because we've and so like at least 5 of them carts are already going to be done.
And what people seem to be crying out for in whatever online forums I'm involved with are kind of the modern retro games, indie stuff. And that's what they're really, really looking for. Like the likes of the dual carts, or even single game carts with a really, really quality game on it. And that's what people are looking for. Like Roadcraft DX came out and everyone was talking about it. And the reasoning was, well, you couldn't get it anywhere else. It was exclusive to Evercade at the time. And it was the only platform you could play it on. It was a really quality game, and it was worth the price for that single game on a cart. And you can say the same about the dual carts. You had one there yourself, Blunders. Life on Mars, Metal Dragon.
Yeah, this is where it needs to be, mate.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And I just hope they've left enough room in this roadmap to have a good number of them to satisfy the community.
Well, I've been doing a couple of videos that people members get it first. I've been doing Indie for Evercade, and one I did look up on there is Life on Earth, which is obviously the sequel. And there's a game that came out Monday, and it's called Tearscape. Play the demo. It's on the channel as well. That game would be absolutely amazing on Evercade. So the games are out there. You've just got to look. It's just and the dual carts. This is where it's at. Get 2 or 3 of these a year, and I'm a happy boy. You know what I mean?
And the other game you done, Blunders, what was it called? Lucky or something?
Yeah, Lovish.
That was it.
That was really good as well. Really good. So
the sequel to Cathedral is coming out this year, and it'd be cool if that could be released at launch as a cartridge on Evercade, because it's got such a fan base for the original cart with Alwa, and Definitely like that kind of game. I think people would snap it up straight away.
Yeah, and this is another thing. I do watch Rich's channel, and he has the Polymega. It's not something that really has come onto my. I haven't really noticed or seen much about it. But they've got some great collections that are going on over there as well. They've even got light gun stuff as well. I don't think it worked very well for him, bless him. But there's, do you know what I mean? That's another company that they're competing with. So it is out there, and hopefully, as you said, it's the cartridge roadmap. Like you said, two a month is great. It's like I would like to have either known, like someone put on there, the first 6, I think, or maybe they were coloured. If they were coloured, so then you would know. Oh, okay, we've got 4 reds, 2 blues, and do you know what I mean? Whatever coming, then you'd have some sort of idea. But I really, really hope it's all on time and we're not mucking around making keychains.
But
And
what's
these
been kind of what's been kind of unloved for a while now has been the home computer stuff. In
Yeah.
Yeah.
we only got Roadcraft last year, and prior to that, I think it was C64-3 or something, and Talamus. You can make the argument there's some stuff on the Rare collection that's home computer, but certainly I would like to see maybe 2 this year, because there was a time the arcade stuff was the unloved about the cards, and now there's a glut of them. And I hope they don't forget about the likes of the home computer stuff. And someone mentioned there in the chat, where the hell is Home Computer Heroes 2?
Yeah, where is it?
Yeah. You build something, but then you don't advance on it. So what's the point of building it in the first place? You know, I want to see them take these little franchises and really work with them. As I say, unfortunately, with Indie Heroes, we saw some fantastic Indie Heroes put together. But in the latter ones, obviously, they did get a little bit lazy. That can happen to any company. It doesn't mean you can't come back from it, but you've just got to put a bit of thought into it. And as I say, there's some fantastic indie games out there. So why settle for second best when you can have first?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I do hope. Yeah, last year was year of the arcade, wasn't it? So hopefully we get some. This is year of the home commuter stuff. And we also haven't even like tapped into the month like the game of the month, or what were they calling it, the highlight of the month? Do you know what I mean? So hopefully it's not highlight of the month 2.
It is.
So that's
anyway.
hopefully that's got to be announced soon. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's another question. Will they bother? Because currently it's the first time ever since the launch of the VS that space on the dashboard of your console is empty. You know, like when the last game of the month was released, it remained there until the next one in April. Whereas what they did this time was they released an update in January and it completely wiped whatever game was there. So there's nothing there at all. It's the first time ever. And will they bother including a game per month? There's a question mark there.
Oh mate, yeah, I really do. I really hope they do. Because, well, I don't know. Highlight of the month wasn't. You know what I mean? If you're like a lot of these, I mean, you're not really getting much out of it.
No.
Yeah. So, did you notice it anyway? So,
honestly, yes and no. I mean, do you know? They released Flea as highlight of the month, one of the months, and it had been a while since I played it, and it actually G'd me up to play it again, and I played it to completion. So yes and no, it can work, but some of the highlights weren't highlights for me. They were okay. So yeah, it'd be nice for them to get back to the indie stuff and release a small indie game every month.
Mate, I'd love that, but I can't see it happening. But yeah, I really, really wish they would. So, right, sorry, let's get on to our next topic. But we have a timeline. Fingers crossed they keep to it. We really hope there's no more delays this year. But it'd be great. It's got like April's got to get announced soon. So get your ears to the ground. So with a lot of carts going legacy, and does carts going legacy hurt the community and hurt people that are coming like new, trying to build their collections and won't like the prices are crazy on eBay. How is this going to affect newbies and like new people coming into this community? anyone who wants to talk about it, they can.
Go on, Derek.
Well, the what I what concerns me most, I suppose, is people that are coming in new to the community.
Where is
Obviously,
it?
you've discovered something new. You're hungry for it. You want to collect some of these cartridges. And I am worried that they'll end up paying well over the odds. I appreciate in some instances you can't always, you've got times on some of those licenses. Also, people like Pico Interactive that have sold off some of the games they had. So again, those cartridges are no longer viable. I get those few, but as many as possible. You really want to keep going for the community, or at least look at perhaps doing a rerun of certain ones. So it wouldn't stop them doing some more Namco 1 and Namco 2 and things like that. Community or Atari 1 or Atari 2, because they still work them license wise. So as much as they could, it'd be nice if they could keep those cartridges, even if it's just a few a year, rolling out, and just bring some of those prices down on eBay, which was originally the idea of Blaze, which to stop you going onto eBay and spending like 500 quid on a game when you could
Mm.
pick it up on an eBay cartridge for £20. So it took a lot of the sting out of a lot of those type of things. It's a bit of a shame, and I do sometimes, unfortunately, see people that have paid way over the odds, some pretty scary prices. At the moment, I think things like Codemasters and stuff are climbing quite ferociously out there. So yeah, do be careful and don't just start paying crazy prices. Keep an eye in places like the Hangout. There's people like myself that quite often have a selection of legacy ones, factory sealed as well. That they're not letting go for crazy prices. Obviously, I can't let them go too cheap. For the simple reason being, obviously, is people would just take advantage of me and then sell them on eBay. So you've got to be a bit realistic, but at the same time, because I know people in the group and I see people, and those familiar faces are the ones I want it to go to sensible prices and make sure they stay within the Evercade community as best they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of I follow this pretty closely, and see, I check the prices out online fairly regularly, and then I see kind of newcomers to Evercade, and they have this kind of FOMO that they have to get what they can't have, and they
Yeah.
go out and they pay silly money for cartridges
Mm.
that are really not that good. Let's be quite honest, like,
Mm.
because a lot of the legacy stuff, there's a lot better there than those ones. This nonsense about Technos Collection 1, I have it. I don't ever play it. I mean, it's not that good. Um, then you have like other legacy. I was supposed to Pico 1 would be a good legacy card, and then you've Codemasters for the sake that it has sensible soccer and cannon fodder. But most of what else, the other stuff on it is fairly average. Um, if you're a big Dizzy fan, then obviously Oliver Twins is something you might want. But largely, a lot of the legacy stuff is average at best, and it's not like you can't get some of it on other platforms. So if you are a really big Atari fan and you want the Atari games on the legacy cards, you can get them elsewhere fairly easily on a different
Yeah.
platform. There's no need to go out and spend crazy money on them. And I think, like, there are legacy cards. I think Blaze deliberately made legacy because nobody wants them. Like Sydney Hunter, I wasn't the biggest seller in the world, I'd say. And I'd say now it's gone legacy, but you can still buy it. And I'd say for a long time to come, you'll be able to buy it because I've never really heard too many people waxing lyrical about Sydney Hunter collection. I kind of like the Intellivision game on it more so than the Master System one or the SNES one. But yeah, I mean, I think it does damage things definitely that these licenses can't be retained. And I mean, Indie Heroes 1 is unexplainable. I really cannot
Yeah.
get my
That's
head
mad.
around why a flagship cartridge series for Evercade would become legacy. Like, if you're picking up an Evercade system now, I mean, an obvious kind of collection to go for will be Indie Heroes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yet they've made Indie Heroes 1 legacy. Is it that they've lost the license to one of the games? I've no
Yeah, I think
idea.
it was
But
on it.
like, It's just it beggars belief that they even wrote a contract on such small indie games that would drive it into legacy at some stage in the future. You know, I can't get my head around that one.
So yeah, so I'm sure this is a list I got off you, Andy, from back in the day.
Yeah.
But it was so obviously these are the titles that so far this list will obviously grow in the future. But there, like you said, Indie Heroes for me is the biggest shock, really. The Mega Cats is a great cart as well.
Mm.
And I was surprised about the Atari stuff because, like you said, you can get it everywhere. So why has this deal just run out? So yeah, I find that one a bit odd.
The most confusing thing for me about the Atari stuff is that they made Atari Collection 1 and 2, Atari Lynx Collection 1 and 2, and Atari Arcade Legacy. And not long after that, they released Atari Arcade 2.
Yeah.
So and a Super Pocket. And if you're still in business with them, surely you can renew the license and keep
just
producing.
renew it. Yeah. So that was the biggest. That was a bit odd. Found that one a bit odd. Yeah, real strange.
And now we're losing in television, and everyone is supremely brokenhearted.
Yeah, Ryan cries into his pillow over that one. So yeah, someone's just put on here. Currently on eBay UK, there are 2 listings for Technos. What? One's nearly 200. What? That's crazy. There's 2 listings for Technos. 1995 and 21078. Like that. Who's paying these sort of prices for that?
I'll put that in context.
I've seen people pay more.
To highlight the lunacy of Evercade shortages, I went on Amazon.ie there, and Roguecraft DX is listed on Amazon.ie at the moment at €48 because it's hard to get. It's sold out, and it's at 48 quid. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And it's not a legacy cart. It's just in short supply, and it's the same can be said for Neo Geo Arcade 2. It's going for silly money. So it just seems that anything that's in short supply in Evercade is just at a ridiculous price.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, it's only going to continue happening. You're going to get more carts that go legacy, and then
I see a comment there. Renovation is legacy in March as well.
Yeah.
Do they know something I don't?
Don't know. I haven't heard that one yet. So yeah.
I heard Derek saying that maybe C64 Collection 1 could be for the chop shortly. Did you say that a few months ago?
So it's highly possible. Yeah, that's one of the ones that will go in that little lineup. As you say, Renovation, the license is already being used now by a Nintendo Switch collection, isn't it? So yeah, it's not surprising to me that'll be in the lineup as well. Yeah, again, it's a massive collection, which has actually brought probably more people into the Evercade than most collections. As soon as that came out, so many people I met from around the world who jumped in to grab that collection. It's unreal. So it's a real shame if they have lost it.
Did you see the ad for it at the time that Blaze put in Retro Magazine and Retro Gamer Magazine and various magazines, that they had a price tag and they priced how much it would cost to buy all the renovation games on the original consoles, and it was clocking up at thousands of pounds like to buy them. So it was like the deal of the century, you know.
Yeah, that's very true.
Interesting. So yeah, does carts going legacy hurt? Yes, it does. So right, before we go on to our last topic, start getting your questions in for Derek, because that is the next topic after this one. So on the Evercade blog, there is the best cartridges to start your Evercade collection. It'll be interesting, like if you guys just come up with yours first, I'll say mine, and then I'll go through what is actually on the article, and which is on the Evercade website at the minute. So if you were starting an Evercade collection in 2026, Andy, what would be, if we say 3 carts, what would be the main 3 carts you would want?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of each color, which may not be the 3 best, but I'll pick one of each color just so everyone gets a flavor of everything. So obviously blue, I'm going to go for Roguecraft EX, blue card, purely because everyone's talking about it, and let's jump on board. And it's a great game, great music, great graphics, great gameplay, lots of replay value. Yes, it's only one game on a cartridge, but it's well worth the admission price. So yeah, blue card, Roguecraft EX. A red card. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go along the same lines. What can you get on Evercade that you can't get anywhere else? And I'm gonna go for Duke One, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
say that because, the original Duke games remastered to a really high quality, and they're unavailable anywhere else. So, um, you know, the job that was done and this new engine they developed to make them natively run on the Evercade system is just fantastic. And the way you can switch between the old version and the new version on the fly and see what they did is fantastic as well. Um, and as well as that, you get the bonus of the 3D game as well in that cart. So my shout for red cart would be Duke, and then I'm left with a purple arcade cart. What was my favorite purple arcade cart? Just because it's so niche and because maybe people wouldn't have played some of the games on it or be aware of the company, I'm going to go for Gaelco Arcade 1.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Maybe controversial, and it's an old one, but Alligator Hunt is a great game.
It is great, isn't it?
Uh,
Alligator Hunt, yeah.
World Rally. It's so simplistic, but look, it's great fun. This overhead view of a rally, and the physics on it are actually really, really good. So the handbrake turns work really well. And then you've other arcade games on that nobody really has heard of. They wouldn't be very high profile, but they all play really, really well. I think there's 6 games in total on that. So if I was recommending, I'd go one blue, one red, one purple to get the full experience, and it would be
Mm,
Roguecraft EX, Duke One, and Gaelco Arcade One.
nice one. So yeah, Derek, what would you be picking?
Well, obviously, I want to try and keep the cartridges as much as I can legacy, so that everybody can get them. The first one I'd probably go for is Xenocrisis Tanglewood. I know that's just it's a fantastic game. There's plenty of replayability. It's completely 2 different games because obviously you're going platforming in one, another one's a big shooter, and you're not going to complete either in 5 minutes. So I think that's value for money there, and 2 really quality indie games. Now, for a second collection, I would go, of course, Good Boy Galaxy and Witch and Whiz. That Good Boy Galaxy had me hooked, absolutely hooked. I was actually at work. I remember being at work thinking about the game that much. I was looking forward to getting home to it and sticking it back in my EXP and just carrying on the adventure. And I wasted hours trawling round as you get stuck on these little levels trying to work out which way to go through to collect up the various bits and also to collect up all the hidden stuff. It's absolutely fantastic twin pack. So that, I think, out of the 3 would definitely be essential. Now, if I wasn't going to pick, obviously, Duke Nukem remasters, because obviously, again, they are exclusive to the Evercade. I guess the last one I would go with, of course, is Aura's Awakening and Cathedral, because obviously not only am I good friends with Deborn Games, which brought Cathedral, and also Aura's Awakening, Eden. They're 2 fantastic teams, and we would obviously love their other versions on the Evercade. But also, I think you get possibly the biggest Metroidvania on Evercade in Cathedral. In fact, some people say it's too long. They should try the Switch version. There's a little bit more to it. Yeah, it's a fantastic game, and Aura's Awakening is absolutely awesome. Ready for an NES game. I mean, I wish I'd had it years ago. It would have blended in on the NES back then. It really would have been a talked about title. So I think, although I've picked 3 indie games, to be honest, I think they're really strong cartridges, and I think perhaps if you get into that on Evercade, I really want Blaze to build on this because those collections are master classes. It's not to say that Astro Bros and things like that aren't fantastic, but that's just my 3, really.
And I'd add to that, Derek, that Good Boy Galaxy to this day, the only place you can own it in physical form is Evercade. They did plan a release on
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance, and it fell through the
Fell
production
through,
run.
didn't it?
So it's still the only place to own it in physical form.
Yeah, there's some there's some great picks on
Yeah.
there, and I don't want to. And yeah, so obviously, obviously not can't pick Legacy. Like you said, you can't get it. And some of you guys have picked ones I wanted to pick anyway, so I'm trying to chop and change. But one for me is it's going to be a bit random. Where is it? I'm trying to think. I was going to say Xenocross, but you already said it. I'm going to say Codemasters, Collection 1, Sensible Soccer, Cannon Fodder. I love both the games. Sensible Soccer is so good. Indie Heroes Collection, I would say 1, but you can't get it, so I'd say 3 because of Donut Dodo. I think another great cart. And
Yeah.
I'm going to be, and the last one, because no one said it yet. I would have obviously gone Rowcroft, but I'm not. I'm going to go the other cart that came out the same day, and I'm going to go Neo Geo Arcade 1 just for some Metal Slug. So, yeah,
Why not?
there is there's still some great stuff out on Evercade on there. Like you said, Elias Awakening, Tanglewood. I mean, it's so good. When he was spoken of Broken Sword or Metal Dragon: The Life on Mars, I mean, there's still some great stuff to be had on the Evercade. It's,
Do you know that the notable thing is not one of us chose a Giga cart.
no,
No.
for me,
No.
they're not. Me personally, I can't pay 25 quid for them, like for the ones they've brought out so far.
Yeah.
I think it's just a money problem for me.
Yeah, for
I
Lara
think it's been
Croft
worth it.
Yeah.
Well, I put a post up on the Hangout
also-
there during the week that I was playing Tomb Raider, and my wife came in and saw me playing it on the big screen, and she said the jaggies were hurting her eyes. So it got a bit of a laugh, you know. But I think certainly a lot of those games haven't aged as well as some of the cutie 2D platformers or the 2D arcade games.
Here we go. We got one of the guys from Badger Punch in. So if you're good.
Free.
Yes, I've been talking about your Evercade, your Roadcraft Game Boy version. So yeah. So right, let's get on to our final segment of the show. I need you to get your questions in for the man, the myth, the legend. It is, if I can get to the video really quick, it is Dear Derek.
Do you have a question? Well, now's your chance. It's time to ask Derek.
So it is that part of the show, and we try and pick Derek's brain for some insider knowledge and see if he's got anything he can let out without knowing. So first one, what other indie developers are Blaze talking to that don't have carts out yet on Evercade, or indie developers that are already talking to, e.g., Thalamus, about carts this year?
Well, indie seems to have gone a bit dry at the moment over at Blaze. It's not an outstanding sort of, not where I would like it to be. I get it. And once they sort of get over the sort of, the whole arcade thing, I'm hoping that'll be an avenue they'll not only revisit, but perhaps in the end, it might end up being the bread and butter of the Evercade. But right now, yeah, obviously focus is strongly on that arcade stuff. And, yeah, I can see. I mean, obviously, originally the Evercade was supposed to be going in that direction, and it didn't quite with the home computer versions and things like that. So yeah, let's hope 2027. Yeah, let's hope that's a big indie year for us.
Yeah, fingers crossed it is. Next one from Caged Thunder. Dear Derek, I know this is probably an impossibility. Do you think there'll ever be a Discworld cut?
Oh, wouldn't we love that? I mean, I used to have that on the PlayStation. I was a massive Discworld fan. I love those type of point and clicks. The humor in it is fantastic. Obviously, I'd love it, but again, it's all tied up, isn't it? That's the trouble. You've got to get the author's family on board and the company that made it. And I think, haven't they lost some of it in license at the moment? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure somebody like Super Rare Games would have jumped on it by now if it wasn't. But who knows? I guess if they're willing to do the background work, you can never say never.
Yeah, never say never. Dear Derek, do you think a Morph Cat keychain will happen?
A Morph Cat keychain. Well, the guys there are really, really friendly. I do love the guys over at Morph Cat, and I'm sure if they were approached to do a keychain, they would certainly be on board with it. So I don't think that would be quite the direction. I think Blaze are quite enjoying sort of scooping up some of the sort of more retro ones, and I'm sure there will be more keychains in the future. So
I'll throw a curveball in.
I was
Okay,
about to say that.
just to keep the Roguecraft love going.
Yeah.
How about a Roguecraft keychain with the Game Boy version on it?
Oh, boom.
Oh yes, we would love that.
So yeah, I was just about to say, you've already answered the question I was going to say, if you could bring out one keychain this year, what would it be? And yeah, Roguecraft is it. But yeah, Derek, if you could bring one out, what would it be?
There you go. I'll speak to the lads over at Badger Punch. Yeah, how much would you pay? 2,000? Fair price, then. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that would be. I would buy that.
I would buy that. I'd buy it day one. Give me a Roguecraft keychain, and I'll just. It would be just one of those collectibles you'd have to have.
Wouldn't that be a perfect Christmas drop for your stocking? I think every Evercade fan would have it.
Definitely. Dear Derek, do you think it's possible for Sensible Software home computer cart filled with their Amiga and C64 stuff?
Well, it would be lovely, wouldn't it? I mean, Sensible Golf, and do you remember what was it, Sensible Train Spotting or something? There was all sorts of great stuff by them. So, I would love to see collections like that for Blaze to go after them. The Amiga was the home of things like Sensible Soccer, and also it's another way to sort of re-release it. Now the sort of Mega Drive version on the Codemasters is gone. So, yeah, you never know. I suppose I would certainly love to see that angle explored.
Yeah, be quite good. Here, Derek, what's the odds of Blaze starting an indie studio, reaching out to grounds and colleges, etc.?
That would be rather than have done like they have with Hyper Megatech, I'd rather have spent my money on doing something like that and getting these guys to bring their games to me, and then I would have put it out to the community and said, look, what do you think? Here's 10 of them. You can only vote for 3. And the ones that were highest eventually made a cartridge. And those guys got paid.
There's a shout for Game of the Month. College students with really good ideas.
That's what we said. We said in the future, if they could bring out a cart that was like Mario Maker, it was like NES, Game Boy Make Studio something, or like some sort of maker that you could then create your own games, and like you said, get them up on indie. So yeah, that'd be brilliant. Right, dear Derek, when we get
in fact a fantastic one, here's one for the guys with Roadcrafter in the comments. How about a Roadcraft creator where I could create levels of Roadcraft and then put them on the Evercade versus and other people can play them, so I could play Andy's and he could play mine. Now that'd be crazy. Yeah, great fun.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. So right, Peter, as I said, dear Derek, when are we getting an Evercade mouse and keyboard?
Oh man, I mean, this should have been an instant. The minute they did Delphine, they should have packed it in. I mean, obviously, and another one, as I say, would be if they do a Bullfrog collection this year, is get that mouse chucked in there in the pack, little collector's pack. That'd be lovely. In fact, even make it green and do it like a little Bullfrog would be ideal, or even an official Evercade on it, because people would love that. And it's all in keeping. If you're like me, you like to try and have all the same thing. If you're going to go for like a Sony telly and then you want, a DVD player and the sound bar is all the same, then this is ideal with Evercade. I'd like it all official if I can, an arcade stick and mouse. So yeah, let's still hope Blaze have heard our prayers.
I thought it would have been an automatic when they brought out the mouse support with Broken Sword.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it wouldn't come out with Delphine because there was no mouse support. But once they introduced that Broken Sword, I thought it was a shoo-in.
Yeah, exactly. If they bring Lemmings, surely they've got to bring the mouse.
100%. Dear Derek, why Sega compilations everywhere but Evercade? Why is it so hard to get them on board? Money?
Well, that's it at the moment. Sega are focusing very much on their own stuff. So obviously they've been doing the Sega Mega Drive Minis 1 and 2, their own collections. Yeah, I mean, they make quite a bit of money. But one thing they always seem to fall down on is they don't focus much on things like the Master System. And that's got some fantastic
Yeah.
games on it that really are lost to time. And I'd love to see some of those come to Evercade. And also some of its arcade titles. If you look at a lot of the ones, they always do the same old Golden Axe and Space Harrier and things like that. But what about Outrunners? What a fantastic game. I don't think it's ever really come out as a physical to purchase. Evercade would be an absolute first. And if Blaze really created that collection carefully, again, this would draw a lot of eyes to see what we're doing here. So, yeah, I would love to see them do something with Sega. So, yeah, let's just hope something can happen in the future, because it's not that expensive, but they are fairly protective over their IPs these days, especially after having their fingers burnt with that games and stuff with their handhelds, and the music was out of sync and things like that. So, I'm sure they would like Evercade as a platform.
Yeah, it's just like we were saying to Sean about WrestleFest, wasn't it? He loves his wrestling, and
Yeah,
they've just taken, and they've managed to release there's a whole arcade cabinet you can get on Argos, and they've just taken out the characters that are legacy characters that you can't have anymore. And do you know what I mean? Like something like that would be brilliant.
exactly.
So it can be done.
Well, I mean,
Exactly.
Blaze have a track record that they have been able to alter games, and I think it was Glover has KD in it, and they're able to alter the code. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's not undoable,
Yeah. All right. Last question I've got here, before we go through some of the comments is, dear Derek, is there a biggie coming this year? E.g., Metal Gear, Silent Hill, Tony Hawk's? We can only dream.
Oh, I know. I mean, something like Tony Hawk's would be cool. I don't think there's any
Yeah.
skateboarding games at the moment. Even C64 Skate and Die hasn't made an appearance yet. So, yeah, I mean, something like that would be ideal. I mean, the MSX version of Metal Gear, I would love. That was a magical game. And to lose those type of games, or them to cost a fortune on eBay, is unacceptable. So, yeah, I mean, Blaze should be focusing on some form of biggie, obviously, this year. I think the hardware is going to please people, and hopefully they're one of their gigacarts will.
Honestly,
there you go.
If you're looking for the best skating game, they should release the Ollie Ollie collection. Ollie Ollie and Ollie Ollie 2. That'd be good. Obviously, he's not as big a name as Tony Hawk, but probably, in my estimation, a better game.
Ooh, I love that.
Controversial comments.
Yeah, I was gonna say I grew up on that first couple. So yeah, it's just right. I'll try to think of like another question, but I want to leave it for the members only bit, because we are getting to the end of the show. We have done over an hour. So let's have a quick look. Just to make sure I haven't missed any more questions. Oh, there's one left. Dear Derek, will you be attending Bristol VGE?
Oh, that's this month, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think it's this month, isn't it?
Yeah,
end of the month, isn't it? Oh, so still time. So yeah, if I know I've got a week off in February, so as long as it's landing around there, then yes, I would very, very much like to try and make it. As I say, it's not too far from where I live, so yeah, hopefully, all being well. As I say, I didn't look prior to the show, but I know I've got a week later in the month, so yeah, hopefully I can get down there.
So yeah, as we were saying, we will be there. So Oliver Twins. So I'll be taking my Oliver Twins cut to try and get that signed by the guys. We will also be doing some interviews live on stage. That's if the other two don't have trouser accidents. Might be on my own. So if you are going or haven't bought your ticket yet, get yourself over and use the code TVG. That will get you 10% off your ticket. So be under £8.
Just to let you know, any trouser accidents, I've an airport out the window there, about 200 meters down the road. Just give me a shout. I'll be on the next flight out.
Yeah. So we will be there. Hopefully the two boys will be there. Hopefully Ollie and Tim turn up. So yeah, we are there. Yeah, it's 28th. It's right at the end of the month. It is like the final Saturday. So yeah, I can't wait for it. We're doing a couple of interviews, but we aren't. One thing I am gutted about is that we are not interviewing the Oliver twins because they are doing their own thing. So there's a little gap. And but last time we had them on here, you can't get a word in edgeways anyway. They're just battering off each other constantly. It's so funny. Like they're just absolutely answering each other's asking and answering each other's questions. And
there's a fantastic documentary with them on YouTube on a channel called No Clip, and people should watch it. It's about their involvement with the promotional games made for Burger King. They developed the promotional games for Burger King, and they're like collector's things now. And people they were free with your Happy Meal or whatever, and they made them, and how they made them, and whatever.
The biggest story I remember from our interview with them was the fact that they had to make the Bad Boys, the game, the movie, without being able to make the characters look like the two main characters from the film. And they didn't know anything about the movie because they weren't allowed to even go and watch it. So they were like, here's the premise, crack on. And you're like, so.
And then there was another case where they made the game, I think it was Reservoir Dogs, and it was printed in its millions, and they forgot to put the age certificate on the disc, and the whole lot had to be destroyed, and it never got released. Like, so it's like really collector's edition now because like nobody got it.
Like this would definitely, I would love to see this on Evercade, but fantasy system star. Right, so that is the end of episode 76. We are just off to record the members only part. So if you are a member, keep an eye out because we're going to be recording our final topic just for you. As usual, Andy, where can we find you?
As always, on the Hangout, I'll be rambling with my random comments, and anyone who wants to agree, disagree, or otherwise, I'll be there.
Derek, where can we find you?
Yep, I'm on Twitter and I'm also over on Blue Sky. So yeah, just come over, find me, and chat all things Evercade.
Yeah, and I'm TVG, so we're everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, the lot. Constantly adding out videos. I'm doing quite a lot of indie stuff I would love to see come over to Evercade. Just pray that hopefully next year some of this stuff gets added. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Sorry, hit that like button, like and subscribe. Get yourself in the comments, and we will see you guys in the next.